Suppose I better add myself to the stream. Hello, everyone. Hopefully all is well. Hi, Whale Miner. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm just... I gave myself less than 2 minutes to quickly get my camera on and all connected up and all things working. So I'm still trying to get all the things I need done. That's what happens when you put yourself under pressure, so to speak. But that's all right. Welcome to whoever's watching, because I see there's like 3 people maybe. If that's the case, please just drop a message, say good day, and have a chat. I'm going to copy that and then I'm going to paste it over there. And there, right. And we shall see what happens. Geez, for some reason my ear's really ringing today. It's telling me off. That's life. I posted a couple of little videos on TikTok today. Oh yeah, there they are, right, So I'm stuck at 200 odd views again. Bloody hell, I want to get back in the thousands again. Soon I'll be getting less views than followers. Yeah, that'd be just typical. Can only try these things, can't we? Trying to get the name out there, doing our thing. So what did everyone think about having Daniel Prado on the other day? He's a wild man, isn't he? So bloody enthusiastic. If you didn't hear what I just said, so bloody enthusiastic. Well, obviously it's a good thing to have, yeah, I know. But he's if I was hyped up like him, my head would really be really hurting. It's bad enough at the minute. I've got to contain myself more. Everyone's different. What else could I do? I could post it in there, couldn't I? Yeah, so there you go. I'll just chuck me invite around a little. What am I doing that one for? That's the wrong. Geez, how do I delete it now? Man, you see, I'm not used to doing this. Hi, Leon. Thank you very much, mate. At the moment, I'm just bumbling. I'm trying to figure out how do I do different things, and I'm not winning at the minute. It's almost like I'm just making it extra hard for myself. Now I need to transfer that invite across to my phone, so I've got to go and post it in here. Oh, I suppose I could just pinch it off chalk, couldn't I? So what are you up to, Leon? You're working hard or what? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? um So what's going on in the world of... Oh, geez, my head is just not good. Put myself through punishment. I got. I'm doing a fair bit of work in the background at the minute, and Chalk's not talking to me. I don't know. Like, she had some major stuff to do yesterday, and I haven't heard from her today yet, so I don't know where she's at. It was rather wet here today. Anyway, if it's all quiet, I will just share my TikTok, and I can make it full picture like that. Let's see if I can make this work. What's that? No, that I don't want me on there. Right, I'll do that, and then I'll go to that. And this is what I would do on today. See all the water in it. Unloading the hay. I had buckets of grain on the trailer, so they want to steal that. Well, the greedy ones do, which is Hulk, Cinnamon, and Casper. They kind of like the grain, don't they? They get into that, buggers. It's not for them. He's a big cuddly boy. Well, that was that one. And then I did this other little short one, which is a continuation, of course. Why don't I have volume? I suppose everyone else doesn't have. I'll do that. Of course, those two have got to come down and steal grain out of the buckets. So there you go. That was the day of doing that bit. It was good to see Prado come on, was it? Geez, he's full on though, isn't he? Bloody. I know he's all enthusiastic and stuff, but geez, he's yeah, he's definitely enthusiastic. That's for sure. Obviously, it's not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing it. It's a good thing, yes. But I think he's showing energy like a 20-year-old. That's what it seems like. He's. Oh yeah, it should be a live stream, shouldn't it? Soon from Nick. What's this message from Jason? Gone through the community questions and everyone on the team has contributed to answering your questions. I understand there is a lot to go through, so please take time reading it. Oh, okay, so they've done a. Yeah, right. So they got some questions and answer stuff, hey? Um, you're targeting CK and not Brian. That is not the case. When people deal with lawyers, you cannot just make assumptions, even if you believe they are real or not. One particular example of defamation of character, it is also important responses are treated equally. Oh, there's quite a bit to look at there, isn't it, by the looks of it? From Vulcan. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what they do, I suppose. What's this thing? So they've got a PDF of questions and answers, hey? Yeah. There's certainly a bit to digest in the questions and answers, isn't there? If you haven't seen it already on the Vulcan blockchain in their Discord. Oh, well, such is life. I'll read more of it later, I suppose. So what has everyone been up to? What did you like about Prado's thing? Did he satisfy any concerns that you might have had? Did he make you more concerned than what you might have been? What do you think? It's kind of good to have a wash up and just see what it is that people think. Because we just, yeah. Obviously, I have my own things, but I try not to push my opinions onto people too much, about do or don't or whatever like that, because as long as everyone's got enough time to make an educated assessment of the protocol, then you're free to do whatever you want, of course. Obviously, I have some opinions which I've given, but I don't really get too involved in the shoulds or shouldn'ts. Main issue I found was just the tax rate. I just don't know how that's going to be run, but I know that it's a community that's used to paying tax, so don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. We shall find out, I suppose. But he certainly kept me busy though, didn't he? That's for sure. Yeah, oh well. Every now and again I'll put these little videos onto me main chat. Been trying to get Jared from Rev Token, as you've probably seen on my Discord. I've got that. He's got pink sale going at the moment on Rev Token. I'm trying to get him here to have a talk about it. Yes, I believe that they might find themselves having to really wind down taxes to be able to do that. It's a damn challenge, isn't it? Yeah, trying to sustain volume is hard. It's almost like you want people to do degen plays on a token, but to do that, really, they want to have like lower tax. But unless someone is doing the pumping and the dumping, someone big is doing the pumping and dumping, it's harder to do degen plays. See, everyone got addicted to that to a degree with Seifu, because obviously there was big wallets that was able to do pump and dump, and in our projects we can't get that because like the owners, which is like myself or Prado or whatever it might be, can't do that manipulation of pricing, the wash trading or the market making or whatever you want to call it. We don't have the funds to do it, so we can't do it. So it's yeah, it's a hard one, because that's obviously why Seifu was able to get so much trading volume, because it was Brian on the volume aspect of it mainly. And not the general community. The community were suckered into buying the FOMO and the FUD, selling the FUD, of course, which it was just cultured that way. Like, each time Brian had like this good announcement, then all of a sudden he would just sell out a heap of value. And in the off times, then he would put it back in again. And I'll just keep capitalizing on people, their emotional trading. And I know, obviously, he was creating the emotional trading with his Discord statements. But yeah, it's certainly challenging to do such things within our own protocols. Obviously, I wish someone would come along and buy a little bit of calf. It's had a lot more green days than red days over the last 2 weeks. But at the moment, I think we're on a red day, aren't we? I'll have to have a look. Yeah, we're on a bloody red day. But what do we got? Say even them out, so that's, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 green days, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days. There you go, 2/3 green days, 1/3 red days. Suppose it would help if I shared the screen, wouldn't it? Ah, well. It's like that. Yeah, it was rather apparent, wasn't it? Because like within, let's call it, within a relatively small community, there was just too much action going on the community token for it to be legitimate. There was just too many $100,000 days for it to be legitimate. So yeah, obviously it put it into a different position altogether, where that clear manipulation was just like way more than what you'd expect, like within that size community. It's just like so much going on. Yeah. If I get that, and how many safer holders do you think there were? Well, I think on the record it's like 5,000 or something during that time. But when you talk about how many wallets there would have been to how many people, maybe 800. How about if I said that? Does that sound You reckon that sounds about right? Maybe 800 if you're lucky of legitimate individual holders. G'day, Seifu Dad. Thank you very much for joining in. Obviously, throw some messages in there. Messages, questions, whatever. Please chuck them in, and we'll see what sort of bumbling stuff I can come up with. I'll try these things. Wow. Let's see what they mean. Well, where are we? Bill done a dusting too many wallets. Yeah, I know, that's right. He dusted heaps, and that's not legitimate holders. That's just bullshit, you know. You can't tell me a project dusts 10,000 wallets with next door to nothing and suddenly go, oh, we have 10,000 holders. It's like, yeah, righto. I would imagine that crypto is still the future, but self-regulation just has to really prove itself. Oh, the bottom. Yeah, you know, I'd like to think that we can actually do some good with crypto. It's hard. The biggest difficulty is that everyone wants their degen plays. It's a very cruel sort of place like that, where everyone's degen this, degen that, and it makes it awkward, you know. Because that's the problem I find with DeFi, is that you get projects like making up some sort of crap thing to sell it to people, sell the hype, and then the crap thing just is a crap thing. It just doesn't do anything. And I actually had a long conversation with Kevin White last night, discussing these types of morality sort of issues to do with crypto space. I'm sure I'll have a live stream with him shortly. He might even join me on mine. I'm sure he would. But that's what we're all sort of about, because obviously PTC went through their scammy sort of rug pull thing, whatever issue it was that did it. I'm sure he will explain that if you don't already know. Like people say, Calf went through a scammy rug pully thing too. It doesn't matter how you look at it. That's what happened. It's just, it all means the same thing, whether you intentionally did it or not. Unfortunately, the facts are the facts, is that the liquidity was pulled. So it's what it is. Well, just talking about these types of issues within the crypto space, about trying to instill some sort of decency to it, I suppose, but it's hard, that's what Chalk and I have been trying to do on our live streams, just have conversations with people, because we're just simple people doing our thing. There's nothing fancy, of course, except for my setting here. That's pretty fancy. And we're just trying to be projects that are honest and doing the right thing. But how many times have you heard that within the crypto space, and then suddenly they've pulled liquidity, or done other ways of rugging? Like, that's the problem, is that it's just tarnished so much that like doxing isn't enough, being presented like this isn't enough. But at some point, you either go with something, or you just don't do it at all. Like, fortunately, myself or you guys, we all have the choice on whether we do something or we don't. No one's forcing us. No one's telling us that we must. We choose to invest in whatever we choose to invest in. And that's, hopefully you just not only get a project that goes the distance, but you get a project that hopefully grows in some way. But like I was saying, in the DeFi space, that's why I haven't done anything so much in the DeFi space, because it seems to be about making something to sell the hype, and then nearly always that something is a negative upon your project. You think it's a positive, it gives you a short-term injection and a fix. Well, short-term injection, but it's not a fix. Like, it might make you feel good for that moment, for a day or two or a week or whatever it might be. But then the gloss wears off, especially when people start to cash out. Like, people get locked into things like staking things for 6 months or whatever it might be. And then when your staking time is up, guess what? Your thing's not worth anything. Like, it's just like, yeah, great. You got nothing. And isn't that just DeFi? So many crypto projects are like that. I mean, that's why I don't make those promises. That's why I've never done that, because it's a model that I haven't seen work yet. I know, I'm sure it does somewhere. Yes, I'm sure it does. But I haven't seen it. Mind you, I haven't really looked that hard either. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of information out there that I don't know, but I still haven't seen it. Like, I've had some so-called cluey people talking to me and giving ideas on this and that and the other, but every single time it's just ideas that don't work. Like, it might sound good, But to me, it's like, number one is, what does the investor get out of it? The investor get out of it. And number two, what does the protocol get out of it? And if you can't satisfy both of those questions, then you just, you're just going ahead on hype. And it essentially just becomes like a Ponzi or a pump and dump, because you're getting a pump on hype, but there's no substance to it. It doesn't do anything. And so many people have been buying NFTs even within our space. And what are they getting for it? I'd like to see that. What are you truly getting? Now, having said that, I sell NFTs, right? So I could say that. But okay, some people haven't got anything yet from buying my NFT. Other people have been winning their either dollar amount or a maximum of a minimum of 6,000 calf, maximum, whatever you want to call it, one way or the other, 6,000 or whatever's less, $200 each week. Now, I know that technically is a deflationary thing on the token, but on the flip side of that, the NFT sales purchase the token, so it puts upward pressure on it, as and the way it is now, like originally it was set up to use the reflections and that out of Vulcan and whatever they're worth. And so if they depreciate, obviously we get less value. But if they go up, then obviously we get more value. But of course, that hasn't come to fruition. So I just had to make it up myself. And 26 weeks later, or whatever it is, 28 weeks or something like that, we're still here doing our thing. Even through the issues that we've had, we haven't stopped. Well, we delayed for a week or two, or two draws or something like that, but we paid back those draws. We did them at a later date. So we stuck to our agreement. It's challenging, though. Now, Property Flex is an interesting thing. I was actually, long before they came along, I was actually looking into tokenization of real estate, because I was seriously wondering whether I could tokenize a farm and sell, like 1,000 NFTs for argument's sake, and raise the capital to buy the farm and then pay the NFT holders like a lease on the farm. That way, then we could grow the calves to be bigger, and just to facilitate the cycle, like how it works. But then obviously, like medical stuff and whatever, that never went any further. Then Milky came on the live stream and he started talking about his project, which is Property Flex. Obviously not him alone, with Kryptonian and NR Legend and that. And obviously my ears go like this, well, prop up, and I'm going, cool. I reckon it's a great idea, because the thing about tokenization of real estate is that you got a tangible asset. Like, it's actually an NFT that is backed by a real asset. So it's a great way to do it. Yes, certainly has lots of positives about it. And then I asked him the questions about commercial real estate to residential real estate and things like that. And apparently they're looking, like a broad view across the board. So obviously they're taking a holistic view of the markets and seeing wherever it lands. But no, it's It's a good idea. Yeah, I reckon tokenization of real assets and turning that into your NFT, and then you get like essentially like a lease return on your NFT. Um, it's bloody good. Um, yeah, no, it's a good thing to do. Well, I believe it is anyway, because it's the aspect in the crypto space where you're dealing with real tangible assets. And what was I saying before? How things just aren't real. Like that sort of thing is not built on hype. You know what your returns are going to be. Um, you know, I don't know exactly what their structure would be, but I'm sure that they've got a projection of X percentage returns on an investment, and it's tangible investments. Like it's actual fiat that people pay for, like leasing or whatever of the estates. And or whatever other income streams that you get from it. So, yeah, personally, I think that's some of the best stuff to do is things that are real, because it's sort of like what I'm trying to do with with my project, but it's in a different. It's just to do mainly with the animal ethics side of it. So it's obviously doesn't come with the lease return sort of stuff on a tangible asset, because like who would want to buy a bull calf and lose money? Obviously, I do, but yeah, it's just like it's a failing business model right from the start. Like if you're looking at it from a business sense, you wouldn't do it. Um, why would you if it doesn't have revenue? Well, it looks like I'm here all alone and no one's going to join me. Send out my invite to enough places and no bites. I only try. I don't think my head would probably handle it anyway. For the last 2 weeks or so, the other half has been sick, and I'm sure I'm just starting to come down with the bug myself, and me got a sore throat. And I'm sure it's affected my head. It's really telling me off, so I think I might call it a night. But yeah, such is life. Some live streams are obviously better than others. It's all good. Thank you very much, guys, for calling in. At least you put a smile on my face. Right. Thank you, Seifu Dad. Whale Miner. It's bloody good. And Leon as well. Thanks very much, guys. It's great to have some consistent local support. Take care, whale miner. Still got to try and catch up with you yet, somehow. If you figure out how I can do that, I'd say Discord, but you don't use Discord. Telegram? Everyone loves Telegram. Not. That aspect of crypto, yes. I don't like the idea of governments doing digital currency and then you've essentially got a you can get or you can't get system, because they're going to make a system of haves and have-nots so much more. Like you can't buy that can of cool drink today because you've, and it's like, or you can't buy that bit of petrol. This financial dictatorship, and that bit is wrong. And that's where it's going to create a second monetary system to be able, like essentially like the cash system, but obviously with other currencies. So you can use something other than what they have. Because when you got social credit scores, straight away it's going to fail. It's going to really, really just piss a lot of people off. Your freedoms are gone when they do that sort of shit. And yeah, like that's my opinion. I definitely would not be looking forward to the day when we've got a government digital currency and social credit scores. And that's why I really loathe the World Economic Forum. That is the absolute pinnacle of just shit. And it's already done enough to mess up our lives now, let alone going forwards. But that's just the way it is when you get these swab, whatever bloody, like communist sort of stuff taking over, where we're all under control. Not allowed to move unless you earn your score that allows you to move. So you're not allowed to travel anywhere, no, because you ate too much steak for the day. And that's where, like, so repressive, just totally just push you under the thumb. And it's like, no way, man. Like, the COVID stuff was bad enough. Just feeling, the way the restrictions were and that, even though we never really copped that much here, but it was still bad enough. There's definitely places in the world that copped a lot worse restrictions than what we did, but there was places that did a lot better too. And I certainly thought we were in a much freer society than what we turned out to become. Yeah. Anyway, guys, take it easy, and thank you very much for turning up. Sorry for yawning. I'm not feeling good. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. See you later.